In the last class we have studied about why we require flow control and error control. So if the sender is a fast sender and if the receiver is a slow receiver, in that case there is no synchronization and many packets may be lost. So that is why we require flow control and error control, where the sender and receiver needs to be synchronized. So when such situation arises, sender can slow down the speed and therefore there are different protocols that are used. So in these protocols that we are going to learn, the data link layer will combine framing, flow control and error control to achieve the delivery of data from one node to another. So these are the protocols. So two channels will be there, noiseless channel and noisy channels. So noiseless channel means the noise, there will be no noise. So that is there will be no external interference. So that is a rare possibility in the real world, but just to study the protocols we need to consider both the cases. So for noiseless channel, two protocols are discussed, simplest and stop and wait. So in this noiseless channel there is no noise, so we need not to be worried about the external interfaces. Then for noisy channels there are protocols like stop and wait ARQ, go back and ARQ, selective repeat ARQ. So noisy channel means there will be external interferences that will interfere with the data, and it may change the data or introduce error into the data. So let us discuss these algorithms one by one. So what is noiseless channel? It's an ideal channel in which no frames are lost, duplicated or corrupted. There will be no corruption since there will be very less interference or no interference. So for this we introduce two protocols, simplest protocol and stop and wait protocol. This is the design of the simplest protocol with no flow or error control. So here we have the sender, there is a receiver. So in the sender, these are the main layers that work: sender, physical layer, data link layer and the network layer. So physical layer will take the frames and convert it into bits. So these data frames will travel across the noiseless channel and it will be received at the receiver. Receiver will receive the frame and deliver the data to the receiver. So now what is the algorithm? So the algorithm is that the event that triggers the algorithm or calls the algorithm is request from the network layer. So network layer gets the data from the upper layer. So we have the upper layers like the session layer, transport layer, presentation and application layer. So whenever there is a request from the network layer for the data is ready, the algorithm will run. Over here in the noiseless channel, again whenever there will be when the data will arrive, the physical layer will notify, and thus the algorithm again in the receiver side will work. So that this is the design, how the algorithm is going to work, which are the events that is going to be discussed. Now here there is no need for flow control in the scheme, because data link layer at the sender gets the data from the network layer, makes a frame out of the data and sends the data. The data link layer at the receiver side will receive the frame from the physical layer, extract the data from the frame and deliver the data to the network layer. So these are the processes that is going to work. The data link layer of the sender and receiver provides transmission services for the network layer. So this is a step-by-step procedure. First step, the data link layer at the sender will get the data from the network layer, make the frame and send the data. Second step is data link layer at the receiver will receive the frame from the physical layer, extract the data from the frame and deliver the data to the network layer. The data link layers of both the sender and receiver provides a transmission services. These are the algorithms. So the steps that we have discussed, it is in the form of an algorithm. So first we'll discuss about the sender side algorithm. So in the noiseless channel, whatever machine is there, it will always, this algorithm should always work, or it should be listening to different events. Okay, because from the network layer, when the data will come from the upper layers, the sender doesn't know. Okay, so it needs to keep listening. So for that we have while true. This is a endless loop, while true, infinite loop. It will go on working. Then wait for the event. So inside the infinite loop, what we need to do? We need to wait for the event. That is, the event is the network layer will say, or it will notify that there is a packet to be sent. So if the event is request to send, so whatever event has arrived from the network layer, if it is a request to send event, what all needs to be done? We want to send the data. So get the data, make the frame, send the data. So this is a simple algorithm that is at the sender side, because there is no flow control or error control, because it's a noiseless channel. So these are the steps that are there. The sender will wait for an event. So if the event is that request to send from the network layer, what all it will do? It will get the data, make the frame and send the data. So this is the sender side algorithm for the simplest protocol. This is the receiver side algorithm. So in the receiver side, again the receiver needs to wait for the event. So that is why we have while true, because this process is continuous process. So while true, wait for an event. So even receiver will wait for the event. What is the event? The packet is going to arrive. So if event is arrival notification, that is data frame has arrived from the physical layer of the sender, what all needs to be done? Receive the frame, extract the data and deliver the data. So these are the steps performed by the receiver side. So it will wait for the event. If the event is the arrival notification, it is the frame has arrived from the sender through the physical layer of the receiver, it will perform the following steps. It will receive the frame, it will extract the data from the frame and deliver the data to the upper layer of the receiver. So this is the receiver side algorithm for the simplest protocol. This is how it works. There is an example of communication using the protocol. It is very simple. Sender sends a sequence of frames without even thinking about the receiver. To send 3 frames, 3 events occur at the sender side and 3 events occur at the receiver side. So here the data frames are shown by the boxes that we are going to see. The height of the box determines the transmission time difference between the first bit and the last bit. This is the flow diagram. For the simplest protocol, we have sender and receiver. So sender sends a request. So the frame will be sent. receiver will receive it, so it has arrived over here. Then sender sends another frame, then after some time the third frame will be sent. So all of them will arrive and the receiver will take it, and so it will accept the data. So sender is just going on sending the data, receiver is receiving the data. So it is not bothered about whether receiver has received it correctly or not. So this is the simplest protocol. So this is the design of the simplest protocol, which doesn't have any flow or error control. So now we are going to learn about another algorithm. It's called as the stop and wait algorithm. So how is it designed? So design of the stop and wait protocol. So again we have the sender, receiver. Sender will send the data frame. Now here you can see receiver is sending back an acknowledgement. Now in case of simplex protocol, the problem over there is, if the sender is very fast, okay, it goes on sending the data, but let's say receiver's capacity is very low, it's not able to receive all the data. So at the receiver, maybe the data will be rejected, or it's not having the enough memory, so the data frames may get lost, or it is not received at the receiver. So to avoid such things, there is another protocol that we are discussing here, is a stop and wait protocol. So here what happens is, sender will send a data frame, receiver will receive the data frame, and it is going to send an acknowledgement. After receiving the data frame, receiver will send back an acknowledgement frame. So there will be modification in the algorithm. So here, or it's altogether a different protocol than comparing the simplest protocol. So here the event is again the same, request from the network layer. So network layer will say that data is there, so the algorithm will be repeated forever. Then there is yet another notification, the notification from the physical layer that the acknowledgement has arrived. So two events are there at the sender side. Similarly at the receiver side also, the algorithm will be repeated forever, and there will be a notification from the physical layer. So there is just one event that the data is going to arrive. So if the data frames, they are going to arrive at the receiver side faster than they can be processed, the frame must be stored until it is used. So the receiver does not have enough storage spaces, especially if it is receiving the data from many sources. So that is a problem that was discussed. So if the sender just goes on sending the data, receiver needs enough storage to store all the frames. So if the storage is not there, it may result into discarding of the frames or denial of service. So to prevent the receiver from becoming overwhelmed with frames, we need to tell the sender to slow down. So there must be a feedback from the receiver to the sender. So if the sender is too fast, we have to inform the sender that just slow down the speed. So a feedback needs to be sent from the receiver to the sender. So the protocol that is discussed is called a stop and wait, because the sender will send one frame and it will stop until it receives a confirmation from the receiver, and then it sends the next frame. So that is why this algorithm is called as stop and wait. So in stop and wait, the sender will send the frame, stop, and it will wait for the acknowledgement. Once it receives the acknowledgement, then only it will send the next frame. We still have unidirectional communication for data frames, but the acknowledgement frames travel from the other direction. So we can add flow control to the previous algorithm. So whatever simplest protocol we have used, The format will be the same, only we are going to make some modifications. This is the algorithm. So we have both the algorithms, the sender side and the receiver side. So in the sender side, again repeat forever, take a variable CanSend equal to true. So let the first frame go, then the sender will wait for the event. The events are if the network layer that request to send is ready, network layer is ready with the data, and CanSend is true. So CanSend is, can we send the first frame? So, and CanSend is true. What all needs to be done? Get the data, make the frame, send the data, and set CanSend equal to false, because we are not going to send the next data immediately. We are going to wait for the event. So wait for the event. Which event? That acknowledgement is going to arrive. So if the event is arrival notification from the receiver, that is the receiver has sent an acknowledgement, receive the acknowledgement frame, and then set this variable CanSend equal to true, that is we can send the next frame. So again it will come to the while loop. Again it will wait for the event. Okay, so that is again if the data is ready and now the CanSend is true, so it will get the next data, it will make the frame, send the frame, and again set this variable. So this is the sender side algorithm for stop and wait protocol. The receiver side algorithm is simple because it just has to send an acknowledgement. So in receiver side, again while true, wait for the event. So the event is that the data is going to arrive from the physical layer. If it arrives, if event arrival notification data frame arrives, receive the frame, extract the data, deliver the data, and then send an acknowledgement. So send frame in, send an acknowledgement frame. So that is what the receiver does. Only one change from, if you compare with the simplest algorithm, is it will send back an acknowledgement. So again there is an example, it shows an example of communication using this protocol. This is an example of the stop and wait protocol. Consider sender sends a frame. So receiver will receive the frame. Upon arrival and receiving the frame, it will send the acknowledgement. So the acknowledgement is received by the sender. So only after receiving the acknowledgement, sender will send the next frame. So again the receiver will receive it and send the next acknowledgement. Only upon the arrival will it send the next frame. So that is why it is called a stop and wait. Sender will stop, it will send the frame. After sending, it will stop, it will wait till the acknowledgement arrives. Once the acknowledgement arrives, it will send the next frame. This is an example. So sender has sent frame, one frame. Now what the receiver will do is it will send back an acknowledgement. So sender receives the acknowledgement. So till this point it is waiting. After it receives the acknowledgement, then only it will send the next frame. So similarly, receiver will receive it and it will send an acknowledgement. Sender will receive the acknowledgement and then only it will send the next frame. So this is how it happens. Now let's look at the whole process. Okay, so this is about the noiseless channel, the protocols that are used in the noiseless channel. simplest protocol and stop and wait protocol has been discussed.